Good morning, gun owners of America.
Good morning.
So as my father just told you, most of our youth does rotate around social media, and everything's Instagram, everything's social media-wise, Twitter, whatever. And most of the media nowadays is portraying our youth as following David Hogg. We have the walkouts in March. We had the walkouts we had a walkout supposedly a couple days ago on April 29th. But I'm here to tell you that we don't all support David Hogg and the anti-gun activists. David Hogg doesn't speak for me, he doesn't speak for my friends, he doesn't speak for all of us. Just the some that don't want to speak out or that do agree with him. And not all of us are going to blindly follow what he says and does just because it's what our peers do. In fact, at my school, a number of students didn't actually participate in the March walkout. They had set aside the auditorium for us, but when it came time to march, more students didn't march than did, and they had to move us to the gymnasium because there were too many of us. And they still didn't have enough room for all of us. That's the fun part. And it's not like, oh, I'm new to the scene. I've been shooting firearms with my father for years now. He took me on my first deer hunting trip when I was 6. And from there, I started shooting at the age of 13. We started going to a gun club called Aurora Sportsman's Club, and I started shooting practical rifle there with my AR-15. I've been doing it for years. I'm a responsible gun owner just like the rest of you. Not only have I been participating in practical rifle, but I've been taught the gun safety by my father since I could know how to hold one. It's not about fearing it, it's about respecting it. It's about knowing when the responsible time to use it is, where the responsible place to use it is. It's not just, oh, I'm going to whip it out here and there. It's no. There's a time and a place. At the range, you always do it in a safe manner. And that's what I've been taught my entire life. And these people want to take away my rights. They want to take away the guns that I use for competition, for all this other stuff, because they fear it, they don't like it, and that's just unfair. That's wrong for the rest of us to have to deal with that because they don't like it. David Hogg is pretty adamant to go after the Second Amendment. He frequently invokes his First Amendment, but him speaking out against it doesn't trump the fact that we still have our Second Amendment. It's our right as American citizens to use our Second Amendment, to have our guns. And then he goes on TV and complains about these clear backpacks. What happened at Parkland was a tragedy. And then they give him the clear backpacks to make some safety precautions. And then he complains because it's violating his First Amendment. But then later he goes and attacks our Second Amendment without regard. They want the firearms that me and other people who do competition shooting to be taken away from us until we are 21. Yet they will let us go sign up for the military, jump out of airplanes, APVs, all this other stuff at the age of 18. And here at home, they tell me I'm not mature enough to do any of that. They tell me I'm not mature enough to own a semi-automatic rifle. And that doesn't make any sense. You tell me I can go do all this with a fully automatic, I can drive tanks, all this kind of stuff. But when I'm here at home, I can't defend my home with a semi-automatic. And they are entitled to their opinions, but their opinions don't trump our facts or our rights. We have our rights as U.S. American citizens. And no amount of crying, whining, or whimpering can take that away from us. And I thank you all for joining us here today.